Hi everyone, I'm Paulette from Tulip Square, and this week I'm going to show you how to make this cute little table topper. It's called Log Cabin Corners, and we've had a couple of requests for this because sometimes beginners especially have a little trouble visualizing what patterns are easier and what patterns aren't. So this one is incredibly easy. There's no diagonal cuts, no diagonal sewing, it's just straight lines. You couldn't get a much easier beginner pattern. So we're going to head over to the sewing machine and I'm going to show you how cute this pattern is and how easy it is to make. So let's head over there. Okay, to make this table topper, the log cabin corners, it's made similar to a log cabin square, but it's only a corner of it, so it's kind of like half of it. So what you're going to need is 2 different colors and 4 shades of each color. I'm using green going from lightest to darkest and a purple going from lightest to darkest. Plus you need an accent color that shows up on either one of them. And one of your colors will start out smaller than the other one. So this one starts out smaller than the purples. So you start by taking one of these squares and these smallest pieces, and you're going to pair them up and sew them all together. And make sure you use nice, accurate 1/4 inch seams so everything fits together as you go along. Now once you've sewed all those, press them towards this square, and then you're going to take the smallest of the next color and you're going to sew them to the left side of each of these pieces when this is on the top. So don't sew it to the left side like this. Sew it to the left side like that, and go ahead and do that with all your pieces. And then press them towards the strip you just added. Now keeping the squares always in the same direction, always with that first little piece on top of your original square. We're going to go to the next size, which is the green, because we're going to go greens this way and purples this way. So the next size is put these greens on the top of each one, just like so. And then press those also towards the green strip. Now we're going to add the next purple to the left, right here. And you can see as we go, this is pretty easy. We're just going bigger purples alternating with bigger greens. It's even easier than a log cabin square because we only have 2 sides to keep track of instead of going around. So we're just going to continue. So this was going to be purple on the purple side. And then always press towards your strip. Now the next green gets added right here. Now the next purple. Now this is a perfect project to do chain stitching, and if you don't know what chain stitching is, it is where you put one under your sewing machine and then you just follow it immediately with the next one and the next one, so you don't have thread ends after each one. Whenever you're doing a lot of the same thing, it's ideal. And then you just cut them apart after you've sewn them. I'll show you what I mean. You don't need to leave a big space between them. Scoot over here a little bit. So I'll sew this first one. And then when I get to the end, I just add the next one. And you just keep going like that. Keep adding and adding until they're all done. And then you cut them apart. Next we have the next larger green one. And then the last purple one. All right, now you've got 16 squares done that are all the same. And now all you have to do is take them and take 4 at a time and make 4 rows of 4 squares. Back this out a little bit. So that your purple stripe is on the left of each one and the darkest green is on the top. And you just sew 4 in a row, just like that. And you make 4 rows like that. So go ahead and do that, and then press them all towards these purple strips. Now you have 4 strips like this, and all you're going to do is sew the 4 together, all going the same direction, just like this. Just sew them all together and make sure that you line up your seams where these dark purple ones meet, because if they're off a little bit like that, it's going to be real obvious. To make sure you line them up, pin them if you need to. And there we have it. All 4 pieces. No, all 4 rows. Kind of cute, isn't it? Now all we have to do is add the borders. So what you do is you take the shortest 2 borders and sew them to the 2 opposite sides, and then press towards the border you're putting on. All right, now you have the borders sewn on the top and bottom, or the two sides, whatever they are, here and here. And now you're just going to sew the last two longer strips on the opposite sides, and we are done. And there it is, all finished. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? This is a great beginner pattern because there's nothing difficult at all, just sewing a couple little lines together. So I hope you enjoyed that one. And here you have your finished Log Cabin Corners table topper. Kind of cute, isn't it? Now, so this table topper is 26 inches square. Now, we had specifically been asked to make some smaller ones, so this is one of the smaller ones we made. If you wanted it even smaller, all you'd have to do was eliminate that last row, that last round of rows, the last purple strips and the last green strips, and that would eliminate an inch from each block. You could also eliminate the border if you wanted to and just go straight to binding. And if you needed it bigger, you could add a wider binding, border, you could add a second border, or you could add more strips to each color. You could add a fifth and a sixth purple and green if you want. You could just keep going. But it's very versatile for that purpose. So you had a lot of options with this. And it looks pretty in all different colors. So I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, and hit the little notify bell if you'd like to be notified when we put up new patterns and videos. And if you need this pattern, it's in a link. I believe it's right up here. There's a link for the pattern. So I hope you have fun sewing this week, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.